So all our pieces of the doll are finished. We've got the head, we've got 2 arms, the body, and we've got 2 lower legs. So we've now got to put it all together. And I'm going to start with the lower legs. So we need a normal yarn needle for this. So I want to get that yarn end, I'm going to put it to the side of the foot. Here we go. And when I'm going to sew the leg, I'm going to sew the legs at the knees there. And what I'm doing is I'm going in there and then I'm going up, and I want to sew so that the knee is tight. So I'm almost sewing like that, but I'm going up and back down again. So I want to get a good bit of leg there. And then I'm going to go into there. Pull it tight. And then go back again. So I'm going up. And across. And down again. So up. Across. And down. And then you have the knee joint in place. So let's just tuck that thread out of the way. You have the pliers for when your needle gets too stiff. So that's one leg done. And the second leg, you're doing the same thing, but you want to try and get the legs an equal length. So the same thing, take the yarn end to the edge. Okay, so we're going in. Across. Now here's where we've got to check everything. And down. Now to get it an equal length, it all depends on how tightly you pull, because that's where you can pull it up and down the leg. So that's pretty good. I'm going to go up and across. And down. Check it again, make sure everything's right. Yeah, we're doing okay. Across and down. There's that other knee made. So I'm just going to tuck in my yarn end. So that's my legs done. There's my legs on. So next thing I'm going to do the head, and I said earlier that I have a little trick for the neck to keep my neck, and this is it. It's a little piece of wooden, well, it's almost like a little wooden spool, and I sell these on my Etsy website. but you can get them in big packs in craft shops. I sell them in little packs of 3. So it's a really nice snug tight fit, so you need some pliers to just help put it in there. So I've stuffed as firm as I can right up to the neck. This neck piece goes in there, and it just makes the neck the head sit very firmly on the neck. Doesn't give a floppy head to the doll. So that's in there. We now use a normal yarn needle again. We have a long thread from the body. So we're now going to secure this in place. And I do that, I go in the centre of the dowel and then out at the neck. You can see that. And then I go along a bit, in again and out the top. So we're not sewing over the neck bit, it's all the stitches are nice and neat inside. And then when I come up, I'm going to catch one of the top stitches and go and pull it in. And I'm going to work all the way around the head. Oh. So that is pretty secure in place. I'm now going to put the head on top, and we're just going to stitch the head up. Going to stitch the head to the top of the neck. So we see where we're at. So I'm going to catch that stitch there, and yet we're still facing forward. So it's almost like a little sort of whip stitch around the head. I know if you haven't got the wooden piece, you can just stuff the neck, close it up and then just stitch the head on. But this is just such a better way of making a doll that's not going to flop around everywhere. There you go. Just one more. And then I'll just secure the end. There we go. And that's the head, and you can see that's quite a nice little head. The head's not really, it's not flopping down anywhere. She's got a nice firm neck. So the last bit is sewing on the arms. So here's a doll needle. First thing I'm going to do is just, I finished this round, but I've not tucked, I've finished it as the pattern said, but I've not tucked it, so there's still a tiny little hole in there. So I'm just going to seal up that little hole with a normal yarn needle. So I'm just there you go, that's that sewn up. Now remember, my pipe cleaner has a little hole in there, and that's where I want to aim my needle. So I now have the doll needle, which is long enough to go through both the body and the arms. So we'll go through one arm. I'm going to hold the arm on there and go straight through. Make sure it's where you put the arms. I put them almost centre, but then slightly back. Now I'll just put the other arm on like that. Make sure I'm happy with it. It's again gone through the hole at the other side. And if I'm happy with that, I think I am. No, I'm just going to turn that slightly. Yep, now I'm happy. So there we go, there's one. Now I'm squeezing it tight. Now I've got the right place, I'm going to squeeze it tight and just do a few stitches. You want it tight because it'll loosen over time, so you want to start it tight and then let it go loose as it's been played with. There you go, that's enough. So I'm just going to come to the back and secure the thread. And finish it off. There you go. And there you have a new doll. Which is great. They can bend the arms and you can sit, and she's quite nice. So the next thing we have to do, of course, we have to paint the face. You may have already put your eyes on, your little safety eyes, but if you haven't, we're going to paint the face and then we're going to add some hair.